Hello, Mark Crossfield here. I am here with Sean at Wentworth Golf Club at the TaylorMade Fitting Centre. So I'm inside their fitting room here at Wentworth, which has been fun for me. I've got in my hand the TaylorMade SLDR driver 460, and we're going to put this loft up campaign that TaylorMade are running with a bit of a challenge. We're going to give it a bit of a challenge. So we're going to hit a few drives with the SLDR driver. We're going to test the loft up campaign, see if I get any more distance. I've got my DC2 on the floor, never leave home without it. I've got my real golf balls that I use. So we're going to hit some, see if we can get this club spec'd up to give me some more distance.
Okay.
Up for that, Sean?
Absolutely.
Can you give me more distance, do you think?
I would be quietly confident that with lofting up that we are going to see a little bit more distance.
Okay, interesting. Well, let's get stuck in, guys. Let's see if we can get some more distance out of the loft up campaign. Let's get stuck in. Right, guys, so this isn't so much a review of the SLDR driver. Anyone who watches my channel, I've got a review out there, go and watch that one. But obviously just a little overview. We've got the sliding weight on the bottom.
Correct.
That's there to help fine-tune kind of directional ideas.
Correct.
Okay. We've got the sleeve on the neck here.
Yep.
Moves loft.
That will adjust your loft.
Okay. Also, it does toe in and toe out the club a little bit as the loft moves.
Correct. If you tend to add loft, it tends to close the face angle. If you take loft off, it tends to open the face angle a little bit.
Okay, that's interesting. But I would be using that sleeve predominantly to manoeuvre loft for launch and spins and those kinds of things.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to hit some. Sean has seen me hit a few shots already.
Yep.
So I've been on their mat system, which they use here at TaylorMade. Amazing system where you get bobbles all over you, wear a suit, and they analyse how I move, and they also watch how the club moves. And they've set me up a club which they think might give me some more juice out of my drives.
We think so, yeah.
Okay, so let's hit some and see if that is true.
Okay.
So if I pop you just that side, Sean, let's hit a few. So what loft have I actually got here?
Well, you've got the loft on that driver is 11.25.
11.25, okay. So at the moment I am gaming an I-25 in a 9.5 degree loft.
Okay.
So this is a 460 TaylorMade SLDR in 11.25.
11.25.
So that is indeed lofted up.
Correct.
Okay. Right, let's give it a hit. I mean, I've always liked the look of this driver down by the ball. It does sit nicely, and it's a pretty nice shape. It's it's a gameable shape, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very sort of traditional head shape and style to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, here we go. Let's give it a whack. So it's going to go into orbit, it feels like, with this loft. Let's see. Okay, hit that pretty good. Slightly turning left, but felt pretty good off the face. So I'm going to hit just a couple or three shots to get a feel of it with these balls, and then we're going to go on to my normal gaming ball that I do all my fittings on. I've actually tested with both balls, and the balls here are fine. They don't make any difference to the numbers, but just so you guys get consistency at home, I'm going to use my normal ball. I know you said it doesn't matter, which I agree with. So anyone coming for a fitting, they don't need to be bringing their own balls, do they?
No, it's a great ball for
yeah, it's more just for the guys at home to get the continuity of the ball, if you like. Let's give this one another hit. Oh yeah, hit that well. I mean, it definitely is a different flight to what I'm used to seeing, which we discussed is quite important, isn't it? People are seeing, the guys you've worked on the tour, they're seeing a different flight, aren't they, I think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the perception is that lower lofted drivers go further.
Absolutely, yeah.
What we're seeing, certainly with our low and forward CG, is guys, players of all standards, to be honest, lofting up. It's a higher ball flight. Which
that is for me. I mean, that is much higher than I'm used to seeing, but I wouldn't say it tops out any higher. It just, to me, I mean, it might do, we'll look at the data, but it just looks like it's starting up so much higher is what it looks like.
Sure, and that's a factor of the loft and obviously the golfer, but what we're coupling that up with is lower spin.
Yeah.
So you have players like Paul McGinley, for example, who's actually lofted up by 4 degrees.
Wow, yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of people coming through the performance lab here, consumers of every level, going up 1.5 to even 3 degrees as well.
Yeah.
Hitting the ball higher, but with less spin.
Yeah.
It's going further.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting the test and hitting with the different balls, because there's a part of me that feels like if you run out of ideas, okay, I'm playing devil's advocate here, okay, and there's not much else you can do with your driver because you've got one that performs quite well. If we just move the CG somewhere, everyone's going to have to change their loft. Everyone's going to have to buy new clubs. But what you're saying is you've done this because you feel people can get more distance out of that. It's not just as maybe I would say back at home, not being in the belly of the beast with TaylorMade here, oh, they've just done that, so everyone just buys new drivers. You're confident in saying that it's going to give people benefits, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we actually feel that the way that we've been looking at drivers and moving the CG back from the face, which is the direction that
most companies
are going.
Yeah, absolutely.
We actually found a little bit going back to maybe R7 where we used to put heavy weights at the front and increase the loft.
Yeah.
Going back that way actually gave us benefits. So we actually feel this is a big shift in technology. Really.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you guys are right, which obviously you know you are, but as the neutral, if you guys are right, I mean, in theory, it'd be interesting to see if other people follow this way, because this is a bit of a revolution. I mean, I'm not used to seeing that flight. It's different, and like I say, we're going to see the numbers, and it's a different way of building a golf club, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit different from the norm, but as I say, I think we're seeing results from players of all levels. From our, Sergio Garcia winning
absolutely
very recently in Qatar, down to consumers coming through the lab here and really seeing solid distance gain.
Absolutely, well, that's interesting. And the other thing as well, I guess the biggest competition you're having, which I can imagine, is if I'm using a club with 12 degrees on, even though this isn't because it's been slightly tweaked, lots of club golfers are probably, their egos are not liking that so much. That's almost something you guys are going to have to compete a bit with, isn't it?
Sure, and I think, as I say, there's that perception that low loft goes further, but more and more golfers are understanding that we can give them loft, which helps them improve their launch condition, and then we're coupling that with lower spin. So, 14-degree driver heads. We're about to come out with one in SLDR.
Really, right? Okay.
And that will help, as I say, golfers, no matter what handicap, what speed, to get those high launch, low spin conditions, which we know maximises distance.
Perfect. Right. Well, let's hit one more, and then I'll hit a few with my real balls to give the guys some data. So let's give one more. Again, I've hit that really nicely. It's interesting. I mean, for me, it feels nice. It sounds good, like I've said in other reviews. It's a slightly higher flight, which if I was getting fitted traditionally and looking at my drivers, I would look at that and think, oh, that looks a bit high for me. But we're going to hit with the real balls, get some numbers for you guys. If these numbers are better, as your loft up campaign suggests it might be, then I don't care what that looks like, to be honest. I just want those extra yards and not have to go to the gym to do it, basically. So let's hit a couple. We're going to hit 3 shots with the real balls. So I've brought my Titleist balls into the TaylorMade fitting centre here, if I can get it on that tee, which didn't go down that well, but we're going to give you some true data, guys, on these real balls. So I'm just going to hit 3 now with these real balls and give the guys some data. Right, guys, so there's 3 shots with my gaming ball. Let's look at the numbers. Let's put this loft up campaign to the test. Okay. Interesting flight. I'm interested to see these numbers. Let's check these numbers out. Right, guys, numbers time. Let's check these numbers out. Now, this is kind of turned into the video I didn't think I was ever going to make, to be honest. Okay, so that's gone 267 average carry for me, which is further than I normally go. That is further. That is further. So I've been wrong, guys, all this time. It's not just marketing, they do make products that go further. So I'm launching it at 14 degrees, which is about where I launch most of my drivers. People who watch my videos will see I launch many of them around there. But the spin is less, 1.7 average, 1 at 1.3, and then near just under the 2,000 mark with the other 2. So in theory, if I want to carry the ball further, I should be using a driver with the weight further forward.
Agreed.
And moving the loft up to those numbers. He's just, there's not even a discussion. Yes, that's just right. Why are we even discussing that? I mean, goes further.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing you're seeing there, Mark, is that launch conditions are very, very similar in terms of the actual launch angle you would get with your gamer.
Even though it's a higher loft.
Even though it's a higher loft, which is a function of that lower centre of gravity and more forward.
Yeah.
But of course, what you're actually seeing is you're knocking off 400 or 500 revs, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that, of course, is maximising the spin of the golf ball.
Yeah.
It's maximising your distance. And you're seeing that you're getting great carry there.
Yeah.
But I would also probably add on to that you're going to also see in solid ground conditions, medium fairway to hard fairways, a significant run out as well. On
yeah,
that
well,
too.
I mean, if you look at the peak height, they're not particularly. I mean, one's slightly higher, and then the other two a bit. One obviously a bit lower on that's a strike of mine.
Yeah.
But the peak height is very similar to my normal peak height. They're not. It's the actual peak height is not that dissimilar. It's just that spin characteristic which is dramatically different.
And I think that's the thing that, again, when you were talking about it looks higher.
Yeah.
Probably the peak height or the max height of the ball is probably fairly similar to what you see.
Absolutely is. Yeah.
Normally.
Yeah.
But of course. It's getting to that point a little bit quicker up.
Yeah,
a little
which
bit
is
faster.
what I'm seeing.
Yeah, so of course it looks, the way it gets to that height is a little bit different to what you're normally seeing. And then of course function that with the lower spin.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where you're seeing the distance.
Okay, so there's a few things that need to be said here just to finish this video. First of all, I said I was never going to hold up their silly board because they've got this. I didn't want to watch it who follows TaylorMade. I mean, go on, can you do your board? Can we do the board? I almost feel like I need to hold the board up. I shouldn't have to, but if you can, I don't know if we got a pen. But look, first things to think about. If I was doing this without a launch monitor, so the guy's just taking a driver out and they're going to their range and trying to hit shots to see if they feel it goes further. I mean, I wouldn't see that as further. I would see it as a little high. So if you're not getting data and numbers on this, then you're not really testing. I'm sure you guys, I mean, this facility is amazing, would kind of say, go and get fit on a proper launch monitor. Because, I mean,
absolutely.
Without those numbers, I wouldn't be using that driver. A couple of things. It looks like there's too much loft to me appearance. Okay, and the flight just looked a little high, but the data is confirming that I should absolutely be using that club, which for most guys without a launch monitor, they're going to have no chance of seeing that.
I would absolutely say that. The key to understanding this driver is getting it on a launch monitor, do some comparison, go and see your pro, go and see your club fitter, guys that understand the golf swing, understand club fitting. That's where you'll really see the benefits.
Absolutely, and unfortunately they have got a pen, so we have to do this thing here, because if I was to choose to go TaylorMade driver, which to be honest with you on those numbers I would be mad not to, I would be doing that, guys. So go and get fit, give it a try. You know me, I mean, I'm pretty skeptical about some of their marketing tactics sometimes, this company, but there's no words. And that's the end of the video. Done. Post comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for TaylorMade Wentworth for letting us come and do this today. Really interesting stuff. Post comments down below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say.